What's up, guys? We're here with another episode today with Co-Cast, and today we actually got our coach, Coach Mark Williams. Today, how you doing?
It's the mafia.
Big Mark.
I gotta watch how I talk in this microphone.
Big Mark.
So tell the people a little bit about yourself. Tell them your background. Where you from?
Buffalo, New York. Um, uh, oldest brother to my little sister, Caress. Um, Pops died when I was young. Mom struggled, the typical black boy growing up in the ghetto. That's about it. Grew up in Cold Spring, notorious Cold Spring. Most people from my area, of course, they gonna know where that's at. But everybody else is kind of in infamy now because of the shooting that happened in Buffalo earlier this year. That grocery store was actually in my neighborhood. So, that's how close it touched down. Fortunately, nobody in my family was involved in that, but they did hear everything. So that's where I'm from, man. Buffalo, New York. I actually got family down here out of Kannapolis, Concord area. So just like my second home. You know what I'm saying?
So how was Lil Mark growing up?
Little Mark was bad. Got into a lot of fights. It was a trigger because my dad died early in a car accident. And, man, it was just like back then when kids picked on you, the first thing they wanted to do was talk about if you had any or no parents. So that was the thing growing up. They would be like, yo, man, you ain't this because your dad. And I would be like, what? And this is just on site. Like I got into so many fights in elementary school. I fought special ed kids. I fought regular kids. Like I was just fighting, man. I was always bad doing something. And but I wouldn't change it for the world because it made me who I am today.
Like tough skin and all that.
Yeah, man. I know in one of y'all previous episodes, y'all talked about the emotional things with men.
Right.
And, man, it's hilarious because I pick on emotional people. But, my kids make me emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm either emotionally happy or pissed off. Like, it ain't none of that. But I think it's all right to be, to show some type of emotion. True happiness is gonna make you cry, or just pure anger. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta let that out, regardless on if you in front of your lady or with your boys. You know, ain't nothing wrong with crying if it's gonna stop you from killing somebody.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's Yeah, you touched on growing up with just your mom with your father passing. How was that like? How was that just growing up with your mom like?
Man, it was tough. Um, it was tough because in our neighborhood, it was a lot of single parent homes. Um, the few dual parent homes, like we kicked it with those kids, and really everybody in my neighborhood, even if we wasn't cousins, we was cousins. It's like everybody in every neighborhood. Like you grew up with certain people, they was your cousin, regardless if it was blood or not. But we uh, we we bonded that way, so I always felt like I had brothers. My uncles was around, and then my friends' uncles and fathers, they was like there for me as well. But the biggest male figure in my life was my grandfather, who was Mark Senior. Uh, he was a general, basically. He was the only man I was ever scared of in my life. Is my grandfather. Well, was my grandfather. That was it.
So talk about a little bit about football. Like how did you get into football?
Man, in football, so in New York, period, everybody knows it's primarily a basketball state.
Yeah.
When we used to play football, it would be between neighborhoods. So it would be Cold Spring versus Central Park. Shit, you either gonna win the game or win the fight. It was one of those situations, and So we would play neighborhood versus neighborhood, and then you had little league football up there. It wasn't as big, as it is down here in the South. But up there, man, it was shoot. Even the little league teams, they was in neighborhoods. But I didn't play little league football. I played what we call street football, and that was we had our own league, so we would play against other neighborhoods. And I played with some guys, man. I learned from some guys early that if you play offense, you one way, and if you play defense, you a man. And
Chill out now. See
I'm
now.
just saying
Come on now.
that's old school us. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up with a bunch of great athletes, man. I had some friends that went Power Five. I got some friends that should have went Power Five. But I mean, things happen, and they still in the streets. Still friends with them to this day. They actually high school coaches in Buffalo now. Great dudes, man. Great dudes, and it was just always it was something you did. If you weren't playing football, you was playing basketball. Staying out of trouble as much as I could.
Yeah. So were you actually good in high school?
I was decent. I was violent. I would say that a lot of my aggression in high school went from just fighting every day to actually like harnessing that anger and putting it on the football field.
Right.
My high school, Seneca Vocational High School, we was our building was shaped in a six, and our address was 666 East Delavan. So,
Well, y'all the devil.
yeah, we always said we got to play like demons and devils. And the funniest part about it was our practice field was behind the school, and over our gate it was ECMC, which is Erie County Medical Center, the biggest hospital in the city of Buffalo. So when people would get hurt, we'd be like, man, throw his ass over the fence. You know what I'm saying? And keep going. And we literally had cut a hole in the gate. And when guys would get hurt, like we didn't have trainers. We had none of that, man. So when guys would get hurt, our coaches would just be like, man, walk them through the fence. And we would literally walk people through the gate and take them to the hospital. But it was brutal, man. I played, I don't know if y'all probably know who Dick Knight Train Lane is, but
Yeah.
that was my grandfather's favorite player. So, I wore that ugly ass 75 and everything because of it. And
Oh, get him out of here.
man, it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal, But I was decent in high school. I started my my senior year, started at defensive end and outside linebacker, and that was it. I refused to play offensive line. I don't even see why my high school coaches would even put me at offensive line. I was like 185 pounds. So
You talk about your kids bringing the emotional side out of you. Like, what made you like? Well, my question is like, why you always like never show that side, like show the emotional side until like having your kids? Like, what was like? Why was the reason you had to like always be like a strong guy, like stand up guy, like not even being emotional?
my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather never showed emotion. Like I've surpassed everybody's expectations of me all my life. You know what I'm saying? I had uncles that told me at my age, at what I was doing, like, you ain't gonna make it to 15. And I was like, oh, okay. Let me stop doing this so I can make it to 15. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I had people that told me like I had a math teacher. I was failing math my senior year when she found out my girlfriend at the time was doing all my work. And she was like, oh, you going to fail. You're going to be in 12th grade again. I was like, you sure? She was like, yup. I said, all right. I got 2 semesters left. She said, yeah, you got a F minus. I said, I'll graduate with an A plus in your class. And that's what I graduated with. So,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like, my grandparents was there for me. I moved out of my mom's crib when I was like 14, 15. Me and her had a falling out over, her and my stepdad. And some words was exchanged and I moved out. I called my grandmother and left the same day. And then my grandmother raised me from that moment. She had me doing stuff that I never thought I would be doing either. Like, I was going to church every day.
Every day?
Man, bro, I was an usher. I was in the penny brigade. I was in the youth choir, the mass choir.
You was in the youth choir?
Bro, I was in all that, man.
You regret that real quick.
I ain't even. My grandmother had me doing karate.
We gotta hear you sing.
Nah, it's over. I went from karate, then I started playing basketball in the YMCA leagues. So she just kept me busy because she knew, like, I was in the streets, man. I was doing everything I wasn't supposed to do, as a youth, but that's all I saw. So it was normal. I remember when I got my first pager, I was that dude. My grandmother was like, only 2 people got pagers, doctors and drug dealers, and you ain't a doctor. So what are you? I was like, shoot, I'm a student. And she was like, nah, get out of my house. So I had to go and live with my other grandmother for like 3 months. My other grandmother, my mom's mom, she was an OG, rest her soul. She was another one that taught me about how not to be emotional. Like, don't show your emotion, bottle it up, and direct it as something else that's going to make you better.
Yeah.
So me and her had a conversation one day, and she was like, she always talked about death, but she was like, I ain't going to always be here. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. But she was like, you need to go back down there with your other grandparents because you don't need to be in the neighborhood no more. You need to get out of here. So I was like, okay. I had a reputation, man. Like I said, we fought a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't backing down from nobody. And my grandmother knew. She heard. She knew her grandson wasn't no punk. I'll just say that. My mom knew that as well. And I just took her advice because she was like, I don't want to see you dead. So I gave the pager up and gave up the game too and went back downtown Buffalo, with my other grandparents, my father's parents, and kind of like switched everything up. So that's why I'm still alive to this day.
Nah, that's
a
dope.
testimony. Testimony, huh? Yeah. That's great.
We had one of your players on the podcast here, and he was talking about it's okay that he cried in front of his girlfriend, like, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that, like, crying in front of women? What would you say about that?
I didn't cry in front of my wife before. When I lost my grandmother, I cried. That was really emotional for me, even all season. This past season, like, nobody really knew. But I was in a deep state of depression all season. Like, I wanted to fight people. After we lost games, after the Shaw game, I lost it. You can ask anybody on the defensive bus, they'll tell you, like, it was a challenge to any and everybody on the bus. Come see me. And it was because emotionally, my grandmother would be the person that I would always talk to after games. And she would kind of be like, you can't win all the time. I'd be like, bullshit. like you can win all the time. We just got to do what we supposed to do to win all the time, you know. But when, she would break things down to me, and I replay a lot of conversations that I've had with my grandparents over the years in my mind to kind of put me in a different state of mind. And that's how emotionally I don't cry a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can sit in the house right now thinking about my grandmother, my kids, my mom, different stuff, and just be so sad. And then I'll be like, well, shit goes on.
Yeah.
And then all of that emotion just goes away. I think it's just been a trained behavior.
Do you think that's a problem, though? Like,
It might be. I probably need help, but
yeah.
that's why I watch so much film. You know what I'm saying? Because I do stuff to take my mind off of whatever it is that if I can't fix it at that moment, me being a Muslim now, I pray. Like I just start praying for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just for clarity and direction or guidance. And then that, that calms you down because your focus goes other places. When I'm at home, when I'm back in Georgia, outside of praying and just spending time with my kids, I go to the gun range and I just shoot. You know what I'm saying? I might shoot 300-400 rounds down range. That clears my mind because it puts a lot of things into perspective and focus. Like, cause you really got to be focused to be really good at shooting. When you praying and you want, I don't want to offend nobody that might watch this, but when you praying to God, whatever name you call him, you want to be clear and understand what it is that you actually asking him for. You can't have a clouded mind and your judgment can't be all flawed and everything else. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared. So the emotional part is I just step away from the problems a lot of times if I'm in a situation. And I don't know if y'all didn't notice on the sideline sometimes I'll blow up on a defender for doing something stupid, doing things that you had not been coached to do pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah.
That's every coach.
You can tell he'd be
Nah,
He be getting so mad.
You know what
I
I'm
be
saying?
seeing it though.
It'd be
I be
like,
seeing
yo, what are you
doing?
Hey, we've never
say
done that. And my favorite video is the Patrick Ewing video, man, when he was like, that behind the back, between your legs, step back shot. When have you worked on that? I've never seen you work on that. Don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? And, man, when we get guys that, it was hilarious looking back at the season. Week 1 was one of those weeks when Jaden Echols got the worst cussing out of his life from me.
What'd he do?
What he didn't do, shit, they wouldn't call it with
Shout
me
out
and Coach.
Jada, man.
Hey,
Me-
big 4-1, man.
Me and Coach Austin was sending in plays, the right defenses to stop what they was doing, and we like, yo, what? That is not what the fuck we just called. And he came off the field after they scored their first touchdown. I said, hey, man, what was that? Oh, we had changed it. And if y'all remember that scenario, they was inside the 5. So we went bare, which is our 50 front. And he checked out of that shit for some, I don't know what he was thinking. And I just told him, hey, man, do that shit again. You're going to be up in the stands. Like, for the rest of your football career, you will transfer.
Big Mark.
And he was like, yes, sir.
Big
He was
Mark.
like, I thought I seen something different. You ain't see shit. Like, you saw nothing. Like, you see what we tell you to see. That's what you see. But emotionally, man, like I said, I didn't cry in front of my wife.
Yeah.
And then Joel just emotional, period. You know what I'm saying? He is emotional guy.
But nah,
But I don't think women feel a certain way because it's a difference between a woman and a girl. Like women a woman that really understands, like us as black men, dude, we are at war every single day.
Constantly.
facts.
Not just with ourselves, but with all of society and everything that society brings in. Like when we go out, like you literally have to have on body armor. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what's going to happen. And, so to come home and have a woman that actually understands that, whether she'll be a black woman, white woman, whatever your choice is, she got to understand that, us men, man, we fighting battles every day. We fighting battles that they could never fight. You know what I'm saying? So, if you see your man just sitting by himself, you may not be crying outwardly, but you crying inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's more so like y'all was saying on the last joint with Joel, it's the outward tears that, some women may look at. Well, them girls that look at their man and be like, oh, he crying, he weak. Nah, man, he trying not to kill some fucking body. That's why he crying over there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then sometimes like we tell y'all every day, man, we love y'all because we do. because we done fought some of the battles that y'all getting ready to fight, and we hope that y'all listen to us so that you don't have to fight them battles. Sometimes you don't have to engage in everything. I tell my wife all the time, you don't have to engage every argument with somebody that you working with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes just be like, all right, man, and walk off. You know what I'm saying?
So go back to the high school. You went to a tech school. So how was that? 'Cause I went to a tech school too.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope, man.
What shop did you do?
Electrical technology.
Oh, okay.
So I was like one of the only 3 people that knew how to really do the 3-way and the 4-way switch. So everybody always wanted me in their groups.
Damn, so you was smart.
I'm still smart. Yeah, man, them joints is cool. My our one professor, Mr. Sarah, he was an Italian guy. Dude was a G, man. Sarah used to come in with the gator boots, with the with the jeans and the buttons up. All the chicks loved him in high school, and then we had Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman was like a World War II or Vietnam vet. He was ape shit crazy, and man, them classrooms was like y'all say lit. Them shits was lit. Back
Yeah, I'm
then.
already knowing.
Like dog, the alarm would go off for like a different period. It was real bad, yo. He used to like get under the desk and be like, "Ain't coming." We would be like, "Oh, what is wrong with this dude?" Or it's a panel, a switch on a panel with somebody would wire some shit wrong and smoke be coming out the panel, and instead of him just like turning off the power in the room, like he would be going grabbing the fire extinguisher and shit, talking about the gooks is here trying to do this. I'm like, oh man, this dude, wow, man.
Nah, he was traumatized.
Yeah, he really
had
was.
PTSD.
He had PTSD before PTSD was recognizable.
Yeah.
Like he used to have hella flashbacks in class, and then we had one other teacher. He was a older white dude. He was racist as shit, and he absolutely hated every black person in his classroom. And I went to a damn near all black high school, and it was so obvious that black people would be on the right side of the classroom, and he would put the white people on the left side of the classroom. And when you had to form groups, and he would be like, put 5 people to a group. Well, damn, there ain't but 5 white people in here. Like, so what if I want to be in the group with John? I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, John might be better at, bending the wire, not the wires, but the conduit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He might be better at that than I am. So I want him in my group so we can beat everybody in the class. Nah, figure that shit out. That's how he was. He was racist as shit. If he's still alive, he ain't gonna have a good death.
That's what's cool. He got what coming to him, huh?
Yeah, man.
Big Mark.
So you did so you graduated high school with that electrical under your belt.
Yeah.
So did you end up doing that outside of?
So I went to Universal Technical Institute straight out of high school. Back then, UTI was popping. It's still around now, but it was in Lombard, Illinois, which is right outside of Chicago. Went out there with one other dude from my high school, and I was working at this spot called Menards. He was working at a spot. He was working at UPS at night, and I was working at Menards during the day. And then, we would go to school as well. And he ended up getting into it with some GDs out there. And we was like, bro, we too far away from home. So we got the hell up out of there right after that happened because we was outnumbered. And them boys had jumped on him one night, and it wasn't nothing I could do. It would have been 2 dead niggas out there had I did anything, but you know what I'm saying? We
You watched your mans get whooped?
nah, he ain't even get whooped. It was a whole bunch of pushing, shoving. And then he fell. The boys was there, and shit, everybody left. Wasn't nobody. Man, Chicago PD, bro. Please, they worse than Los Angeles.
He said he seen him get into it with the BDs.
Yeah, and we lived in the apartment complex with them dudes, so it was like,
Oh man, y'all
bro,
tripping.
we out of here, bro. I ain't about to be fighting every day.
I don't know what they playing with it for.
Yeah, so we left. We was gone the next day. He left the next day, and I left that weekend. And we shit. But I still know how to do that shit. That electrical shit easy.
How you get into coaching though? Where that passion come from?
I don't know,
You don't know how you just got into coaching.
man. Allah. It was one day I was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with my cousins, and they asked us to coach a little league football team, and I was like, cool. And that's kind of like what sparked it.
So like coaching never be your passion. Like you never thought you was gonna be a coach.
I would say it didn't be, no. I wanted to be a truck driver or a firefighter growing up. But after coaching those little kids, super amounts of talent with them kids. Some of them kids went on to play Power 5 football, but we went 0-10 that year.
It was your coaching.
Nah, it was everybody else we was playing was better than us. Like we would score every game. Like it was a whole bunch of, and then I was coaching offense at the time, which was weird, but
You know
was
what
on
they say
that
about
See why y'all went.
Yeah, he was on that side for a little bit now.
yeah,
Played that side.
I was coaching O-line and D-line, so, but it was just like, actually, I didn't have a skill set back then, you know what I'm saying? And then as I got older, actually, when I graduated from Livingstone, I had did 2 years. I was the student assistant for Coach Joyner before he passed, and I loved it. I was like, yo, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? But of course, it's coaching college basketball. I really wasn't coaching, but I was just around them, learning, picking up work ethic, what you're looking for, how to dissect your opponent, and that took a interest. I was interested in that, and then recruiting was different then than now. We was bringing in guys from like Texas and Kansas, and just showing them a good time. So I was on that side of it.
Yeah.
And then after graduated, Coach Stinson got the job. And I was like, yo, Coach, man, I really want to keep coaching. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I can recruit. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right. That was my first year coaching like what they call pound ball. And then I came back to Livingstone working 04. First championship I won ever coaching was in the Bobby Jackson summer camp. Man, that joint was dope because they let us do trades and everything. And going right into the playoffs, I felt like I made a trade that, and it probably was, I traded one dude and got a girl and another boy, and the girl could shoot, and the boy, he was a shooter too. And I was like, man, if I get them two on my team, we gonna win. And it was like the boy I traded was, everybody wanted him. And I was like, man, this dude a head case because, like, when he was hot, he was hot. But when he wasn't, he was awful.
Yeah.
So, everybody wanted him. The team that the girl and the boy was on, they was kind of like middle of the pack, but we made the trade, and then we went on. We won the joint. We was like 15-2 in the little camp season that we played. And that was the first time I won a championship. And Coach Mitchell, who was the women's basketball coach at Livingstone at the time, he was like, man, that was a good move you made, kind of, in the middle of your season. He said, that's what won you the championship. I said, yeah, man. I kind of brushed it off like, man, it's just summer ball. He like, man, championship is a championship. And I was like, okay. And I always remembered that, you know what I'm saying? So that was like my first championship ever. And then when I started coaching semi-pro ball in 2007, the first year we was all right, but the second year we won the equivalent of a Super Bowl. And then the third year with that team, we didn't do good. We started off undefeated, and we a lot of our players actually got locked up. So we finished awful. But then I came actually and started coaching down here in Concord. It was a team called the Concord Eagles or Carolina Eagles, and we won it back to back with them. And I was like, damn, I got 3 championships in 5 years. I was like, I'm on to something. And then I was again, everything was going back to recruiting because the year we won with the Rowan Rampage, every ineligible player at Livingstone played for us. And I was like, yo, we're gonna beat everybody. And that's exactly what happened. And the same thing happened when I came to the Eagles. It was like, yo, you can get some of them. I was like, yeah. So I was bringing them back. So, you know, and sitting here talking to y'all right now really it shows me that recruiting is really like my thing. You
Your
know
gift.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you
Like
got a
that's-
gift for that.
Yeah. So being able to put stuff together, put players together and bring them to a team and just get them like buying in, because that's the biggest thing. Like I can put all of y'all in the same room and give you a glass in a container full of water and tell you, man, fill it up to the brim, don't let it overspill. If you don't believe you could do it, you ain't gonna do it. Like you gonna stop where the water at right now. But if you believe you could fill it up to the top and it's not gonna spill over, that's belief. That's being a good coach.
That
You know what I'm
mindset.
saying? Yeah. And then y'all gotta have that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I can do it, and if I can do it, you should be able to do it.
So talk about your trucking business a little bit. Like, how did that all start?
Man, the trucking business happened because I didn't want to work for nobody. I was tired of working for people.
I feel it.
People always telling me what time you had to be at work, what time you needed to be back. And I just woke up one morning and sat on the edge of the bed and I told my wife, today's the day. And she was like, what you mean? I was like, I'll be home. A little bit later, we'll talk about it. And shoot, in the trucking company wasn't even my first business, but that's how that came about. My homeboy, he had dump trucks at the time, and he was like, man, you need to get some dump trucks. And I was like, man, I don't know how to do that shit, man. I ain't getting no dump truck. I'm about to do something else. You know what I'm saying? And that itch to coach again was coming back. Because I just wanted to coach, you know what I'm saying? I had missed it. And, you know, I told my wife that morning when I quit, basically, when I came home, my boy was constantly in my ear, but what made me even do it was he had told her, like, yo, I'm trying to put him on, man. He ain't hearing me though. And my wife was like, pretty much like, fucking, and she went and bought a truck. And I was like, what are you doing?
Your wife did that?
Yeah, she just went and got the truck. I was like, yo, you,
Shout out to your wife.
yeah. I was like, you bugging. We don't even know what we doing. She was like, figure that shit out. You figure everything else out.
Oh yeah, she good for you.
I was like, all right, well, guess I got to figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. It was a box truck. I drove that joint for the first year and a half. And then I put my cousin in it. He was an older dude. Then I went out and bought 3 trucks. Within my first 2 years, I had 3 trucks. Going into my second year, I had 5. And we, you know what I'm saying, it was on autopilot. Still didn't know everything. I still don't know everything about the industry, but trucking, if you do it the right way, which now that we done kind of paused it to come back and reassess like what we can do to make more money and kind of take the stress off of it. Because like my wife ain't worked in 11, 12 years. Like, and that ain't because she can't get a job. It's because I told her she didn't need to.
That's lit.
You was just
You know
him.
what I'm saying? And she still got her side hustles.
Right.
But
Of course.
her situation was just the same. Like, she was working for a pharmaceutical company, making good money, but every day she was coming home. I was picking her up from work, and she had an attitude. I was like, yo, I'm not the reason you mad.
Yeah, I ain't do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I need to go and do something, let me know. But, bro, you know, when she was doing that, I was working in the entertainment industry, so like I was always on the road. Like I would leave the house on a Thursday.
What are you doing?
I was a booking agent / road manager. So like the Migos,
Tell them the big names. Yeah, facts.
I was with the Migos when they was getting like $5,000.
It's hard.
You know what I'm saying? Kirk O'Bangs,
Drinking my cup.
Tank.
Wait, so that's what you was doing? That's what you walked away from when you started doing the trucking?
Nah, I walked away from that. I ain't gonna tell you about it, but I walked away from that for some other another reason. It was either that or my family, and I chose my family. You know what I'm saying? But I walked away. I was working for a liquor company. I was delivering liquor
Yeah.
for this company, and still to this day they said it was the coldest quit ever. When I came back to the shop, cleaned my truck out, and my supervisor walked by and was like, yo, clean your truck out. I was like, dude, my truck is clean. Like, I'm not cleaning nothing. He was like, oh, it's a sticker in there. I was like, well, get it the fuck out the truck. And he was like, man, don't talk to me like that.
The whole time you knowing what you about to do.
Yeah, like, but honestly, I would have stayed probably one more day because it was cool. You know what I'm saying? But it was just his attitude. Like, I was helping other people clean their trucks out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when he did that, he walked off. Then he came back and was like, you gonna clean the truck? I said, man, here go the broom. You clean it. I'm out. And he was like, what you mean? You still at the dock? I said, man, fuck this job. I'm out. I gave him my keys, turned in my paperwork. I signed. I still did everything I was supposed to do, and I left. I even parked the truck. You know what I'm
Stand up
saying?
guy.
Came back, gave him the keys, and when I told him, I said, man, y'all won't see me tomorrow morning. He was like, yeah, man, people say that every time, all the time. I said, that's cool. So I put my phone, that's the first time I ever used Do Not Disturb. I ever used Do Not Disturb on my phone. I turned that joint on. I slept until like 9 o'clock that next morning. And when I woke up, I had like 26 missed calls from the job. And I woke up, I got my uniforms, washed them, steamed them joints, flawless, put them on the hangers. I told my wife, I'll be back. She was like, yeah, I figured when you ain't wake up this morning, he was like, fuck that job. I was like, yeah. And I went in there and my supervisor was in there. The big boss was in there. Walked in, badged myself in, walked in, everything. I said, yeah, Kyle, where you want me to put this? He said, oh, man, you can put it right there. And I'm going to put you on this paperwork as do not rehire, job abandonment. You'll never be able to work for this company again. I said, I don't want to fucking work for this company again.
That's the point.
And I said, am I going to get my last check? Because I know companies like this typically don't pay people their last check. And he was like, oh, you need to talk to HR about that. So I said, all right, cool. Knowing that the HR guy was one of my frat brothers, I went upstairs, talked to him. He said, man, you'll have your money on Monday. I said, bet. He said, today my last day too. So when I left that job, I drove. My homeboy had bought a box truck. My same dude that had the dump trucks. He just let me drive the box truck. And then I was just like, man, I don't want to do this shit. His truck kept breaking down. We used to call that joint Christine, because that joint just kept breaking down everywhere. Like, I was like, man, I ain't doing this shit no more, man. I got to figure something else out. I was like, I need to get back into the entertainment industry because man, I was making so much bread in the entertainment industry.
Yeah. What exactly was involved in that?
So people would call me to book the shows.
Right.
So any show that you see go up, they would call me to book the show. Um, and then we would arrange everything, you know what I'm saying? And I made anywhere from 5% to 30% of what the show cost was. So if I booked $100,000 artist and my fee was 20%, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my bread. That's just my bread straight to me. Um, I was just knocking them out. Like I was working with Live Nation. I did 2 Kevin Hart tours where I marketed his 2 shows that was in Georgia. He would have one in Atlanta and one in Columbus. I was the dude that was, boots on the ground, passing out flyers, hanging up posters, going into the radio stations, just doing all of that stuff. Um, man, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? And one of my other frat brothers actually put me on to that. Like I was on the road with Rockefeller a lot in the twilight of Rockefeller, but like cats like Beanie Siegel, Freeway. Freeway is like my brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Princess and them from Crime Mob. So many different people, man. Like, bro, we was just putting in work, getting bread. Sometimes, you don't make but $500, $1,500, $2,000 here. But when you doing that 6, 7 days a week in some cases, or if it's 30 days and 15 days out the month, you done made $2,000.
Yeah. You
Bro,
stacking.
You good. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
That's a good look.
Why you walk away from that?
I was reckless. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was either the industry or my family, and I'ma always go with my family.
Yeah.
Always ain't nothing ever gonna separate me from my family.
Stand up guy.
You know what I'm saying? So, like some of the things that y'all hear going on in the entertainment industry, it's real. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it at that.
So like I'm gonna press
Man,
that
touch on that. You
one.
got to
I'm
touch
gonna press
on
that one because you know me.
I mean, just it's a lot of fake shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, some of y'all favorite rappers.
Ain't who they say they is.
Yeah, nah. But, I'm fortunate enough to where I never had to deal with those people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's a lot of genuine people in the industry as well. Like, just stand-up guys or stand-up girls. People that's really about their business, man. But, if you out here trying to do too much,
You gonna crash.
You already know, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You too thuggish.
Yeah.
Like it ain't that. The hardest person I ever known in my life ain't that tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. And I know some people that's been off some people. They behind bars from it, but even them, they did it like and they was defending themselves. Like they weren't just out here being a predator.
Yeah. So you can tell, you can spot when somebody.
Yeah, man, you feel that energy. Like people energy be wrong. I'm big on energy, and when people energy change, bro, it's like get your ass from around me, cause I'll go to your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, shitty Mark.
I got kids I gotta get on to, bro.
Nah, that's a fact though. That's real.
For sure.
What would you say was your biggest decision that you made in your life? Like the best decision that you made in your life? You could go from like your childhood to like your upbringing.
You gonna say
now.
find out Allah?
That was one. I'm not gonna say it was the biggest. It's a string of things that happened in my life that I can point to that got me here.
Right.
So like the first one was moving out from my mom.
At 14.
You know what I'm saying? Young age, no direction, no guidance. And I've been in some stuff like I believe in angels and, you know what I'm saying, archangels, and I know my dad has been with me, even though he hasn't been here physically, because, like, man, I done did some stupid shit
Yeah.
and just know I'm not supposed to be here.
I made it out.
Rather it been, me being in jail or me being dead. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. And some of the stuff that I did, and I know it was my father that was like, hey, man, you stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I just stopped. But I would say so. So the first one was that moving out with my mom's. The second was deciding to come to college. There's two things you do in life in Buffalo, New York. You either work or you sell drugs. That's just it.
Yeah.
And I had already did the latter. And I was like, I know where that's gonna get me eventually. You know what I'm saying? And then I was already told that I wouldn't accomplish nothing. So I wanted to be the person to do everything I could to prove everybody wrong. So when I came to college, that was two. Graduating from college, I was so proud of myself that I told my grandmother, for everybody that said I couldn't do something, I wanted to put a full page article in the Buffalo News and just put a copy of my diploma, my degree,
Yeah.
in the newspaper. And she was like, "No, we don't do that." You know what I'm saying? God ain't gonna like that because now you bragging. You know what I'm saying? Be thankful, be appreciative. So I kind of went, you know what I'm saying, from there. But not moving back to Buffalo after I graduated was huge because, again, had I went home, I was either gonna work or sell drugs, and it was selling the drugs is so easy. You know what I'm saying? That the first or second time that I didn't get the job that I wanted, and I look at my account and I don't have no money, I'm going to the block. I'm going to the homies. I need this,
Yeah.
and they gonna give it to me, no questions asked. So, nah, I ain't not going back.
Yeah.
Kind of finding myself as a man. Um, I think my daughter was born in 2001, my oldest daughter. So, um, what was I? I was a junior at Livingstone because my sophomore year was terrible at Livingstone. I was doing way too much. I was throwing parties, going to parties every day. I was working third shift. School was like not my thing at all. But um, when I had her, that was big. So after I graduated, like just staying here to be here for her and not miss anything important in her life, that was a key for me. And man, dog, the biggest is probably convincing my wife to let me come back and coach at Livingstone.
Talk about that.
No, that's deep.
Bro, that shit was like 2 years in the making.
That's deep.
So I was coaching at McKeecher High School.
You know my
And,
cousin.
who?
Well, my mom's cousin, Myra. She the principal.
Oh, that's there right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Camise, I
that's
think that's her name. No,
that's my mom cousin.
word.
Yeah.
Oh man, small world. I was coaching there, and I had coached there like 4 years, and 4 or 5 years, I don't know.
This was football or basketball?
Football.
Yeah.
So I was coaching middle school football. Started seventh grade, and then the second year we went down, went sixth, seventh, eighth. Then I started coaching JV. No, I was coaching ninth grade and then doing varsity. So I had a little disagreement with the ninth grade coach. And ninth grade coach and the varsity coach, they buddy. They had a conversation. You know, I already knew what was going on, so I was like, I'm gonna just step away. And I told my boy, Trav, I said, I ain't coaching next year. I'm gonna focus on getting back into college. And bro, like I literally applied for GA positions at every school in Georgia because I knew my wife wasn't gonna be with the family being separated. You know what I'm saying? Um, and like the first year to not get nothing back, I was like, damn, I done been out the game too long. Ain't nobody fucking with me. Like I done lost all my contacts, or if I didn't lose my contacts was no longer coaching.
Yeah.
So I was like, I ain't gonna get back in nowhere. And I just started calling Coach Stinson and talking to him for guidance, and he was like, man, you might want to come back up here. Be honest with you, some things might happen, and And I was like, man, shit, my wife ain't about to let me come up there. And one day I think I just threw it up to her and was like, what would you think if I, went and coached at Livingstone? And she was like, shit, that ain't happening. And I was like, all right.
Clip.
I just kind of left it alone. And, another few months go by. I'm like, Pookie, I got to get back on the sideline.
Yeah.
And all the high school coaches that,
That's what you call your wife, Pookie?
no, I said I
he
was
said-
scratching like Pookie, like
Pookie and Ray Ray.
from New Jack City.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, man, I got to get back in it. But all the high school coaches down there, they was at bad schools. And I was like, I can't leave McEachern, which is a winning program, and go somewhere that's predominantly a losing program.
Yeah.
Because my personality, I'm a winner. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I talked to Coach Stinson again, and he was like, man, just come up here and see what's going on first. So I told my wife, I said, man, I'm going to go to a basketball game, talk to Coach Stinson and see what's going on. She was like, all right. She ain't think nothing of it. I came up here and talked to him. I think that one-day trip turned into like a 3-day thing. And I met the coaches, the football coaches. Me and Coach Huey was cool. Coach Huey was the DC before me and Coach Austin came. Chopped it up with him. Very smart dude. Knows the game very well. I was like, I can see myself working with this dude. But it was just the head coach. Me and him didn't, when I spoke to him, he was like real arrogant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had asked him a question. It was like, coming from a 7A high school down in Georgia, know a lot of kids that got, a lot of talent. And they need just an opportunity. And he was like, man, if you can find me a long snapper, you'll be doing me a favor. And I was like, a long snapper? He was like, yeah. I just turned around, closed the door, walked out his office. I felt so disrespected.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember it was hilarious. I called my wife. I said, this motherfucker told me to find him a long snapper. Do he know not who I am? Like,
Yeah. You done put
like
in
I'm
work.
that dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I don't look for long snappers.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck this dude. I'll be home in a minute. So, I drove home, and he went like 0-10 or whatever. No, they started off 4-0. And, man, you could just hear the arrogance to everybody that was talking. And I was like, who they play next? They was like, Virginia Union. I said, oh, I'm coming. And I just knew. I said, man, Virginia Union going to beat the dog shit out of. And they did. And he lost his last 6 games. And I was happy. I was like, oh, he about to get fired. You know what I'm saying? This dude done won like 7 games or 5 games in 8, 9 years. He ain't about to be here too much longer.
What year was that?
2019.
Oh, okay.
So or 18, the 18 season, I think it was, whatever. But I remember I called Coach Stinson. I was like, yo, man, what you think? He was like, if I was you, I would come back. Just take whatever's available. So I was like, man, my wife ain't hearing this shit, man. Like, I got to find a way to convince her. So one more time, I called Clark. I called Morehouse. Called Kennesaw State. I even called Life. Georgia Tech. Georgia State. Albany State. Fort Valley. Nothing. So I just told my wife, I said, yo, only place gonna give me an opportunity right now to get back to doing what I really want to do is Livingstone. Because that's home. And I said to her, like, they ain't gonna get good again until I'm there. And I believe that in my soul because I done prayed on it.
Facts.
And she was like, go ahead. And I was like, you sure? She was like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, man, she don't mean this shit. Like, she don't mean this at all. Like, she playing games.
Yeah.
So I waited like another month, 2 months. I called Coach Stinson again right after CIAA. At the time, I was doing my master's degree in sports management. And I was like, Coach, what you think gonna happen, man? Like, they still got this dude on campus. He was like, yeah, I think you should just come back up here. He was like telling me without telling me. And I was like, man, I don't know. At the time, we didn't even have an AD. Coach Springs had just stepped down from being the AD. And then they bought Coach Massey back. And I was like, I know it. Excuse me. I was like, I know it ain't happening now. You know, it was just, I was like, man, Coach, I don't know. And when it came time for me to do my internship, again, I called them other schools again. Still no responses. I'm like, Clark is trash. Like, am I that bad? Like, Kennesaw is just starting. Morehouse is trash. I'm like, how? I can't get nobody to call me back. Even the coaches at Edward Waters wouldn't call him. I was like, yo, all right. Call. I said, yo, I want to do my internship up here. Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, man, come on. So, doing my internship, started learning the ropes a little bit, chopping it up with the coaches, and then pretty much all hell broke loose. You know, they fired everybody from that staff. And I was like, oh,
Wide open.
this might turn into something. So I just kind of, you know, played the back a little bit, wanted to see who they was going to bring in. I knew for a fact I wouldn't be able to be no head coach. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The first time I was like, and I really didn't want to be a head coach. I wanted to just come in and play my part. So I went back home, talked to my wife again, and my wife was like, babe, go ahead and do it. And that was the last time that I second questioned her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because before I would always question her after she would say, go ahead and do it. And I'd be like, man, you ain't blah, 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 blah. And we go back and forth. But I didn't because, like I said, man, I already felt it like we're not going to be good unless I'm there. And I'm able to do what I do, which is recruit and bring in dogs. So when I got up here and Coach Gilbert got the job at his press conference, I didn't interview. I did nothing. I told Coach Gilbert that, I said, man, you need me on this staff. And I'll tell you why. And he was like, you ain't got to. I can feel your energy. He was like, can you break down film? And I was like, that's easy. He was like, all right, come to the office tomorrow. Same thing Coach Stinson said all them years ago. You know what I'm saying?
That's a Coach Gill response.
So
Shout out to Gil.
instantly, it started going into motion. You know what I'm saying, with the guys. Like, soon as I put in my Twitter at the time, everything was heavy Florida State. Like, I had been on so many different Florida State podcasts with these well-known Florida State podcasters, and it was dope. These guys, they had a situation called the Big Three Roll-Up, which was like Florida State, Florida, and Miami. They was three like super fans. So like all of my messages on Twitter would be about Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. And then one day I just posted like, I'm gonna be coaching at Livingstone College, shoot me your film. I went from like, shit, man, 1,000 followers to like 10,000 in a month. And I was like, I don't even know how to use this shit, like, for real. So I started learning how to use it, and I think like it just started going up and up and up and up, and like the overwhelming support from the other coaches that had knew me from coaching at McEachern, and then just knowing the Georgia football scene, how I knew it. That's just what I hit. And then I started hitting up the Florida schools and getting the Florida guys in. And believe it or not, the reason why I know where to go with the Florida guys was because of the entertainment contacts I had that they nephews and brothers' kids was playing at. You know what I'm saying? So I would hit them up, and they was like, oh, man, call this school, call this school, call that school. And I think what made me different was I wasn't afraid to offer kids that I knew damn well wasn't coming to Livingstone.
Facts. I done seen that a couple times.
Yeah, like, it's two things a recruit could tell me, that's yes or no.
Yeah.
You ain't hurt my feelings if you say no, because you going to tell a whole bunch of schools no. But understand that as this program continues to grow and we continue to get better, I'm going to get less no's. I'm going to be the ones giving the no's out shortly.
Yeah.
Because we ain't going to have no room. The standard is going to be changing, like it's already changing.
You done seen it.
You know what I'm saying?
In the record.
And, you know, is the development, you know, to what this program is going to be, and the amount of time that we put in, you know, like me and Coach Austin, and man, tirelessly working every night. Like this shit, I don't even sleep. I don't go to bed until like 4 o'clock, and then I'm back up at like shit 8:39. Most nights 7:30 I wake up. You know what I'm saying? And bro, I just know, I can feel it. It's a certain spirit that y'all got on this campus. Y'all don't think it's recognized. I don't think y'all can see it, but I see it, and it's slowly but surely becoming like what it was when I was in school. You know what I'm saying? At Livingstone. And you know, I think Laz was trying to be funny when he started calling me Coach Grinch, but shit, you did me a favor. You know, you gave me a nickname that I like, because I like being what I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I'm a Grinch for real. I just think.
Nah, you is mean as
Yeah,
hell.
you got that.
I think he has a reason. He has a reason.
He got Coach Mark got this theme music anytime he come around. It's real dark and rainy. Clouds start coming around.
But he really don't be mean unless
You give him a reason.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
something
Every
stupid.
reason.
Yeah, like just do what you're supposed to do, man. Like it's easy. It's so easy to do the right thing. Like I don't think people realize how hard it is to just say, fuck it, I'm not going to class today.
Yeah.
You know how hard that shit is, man. You paying all this money to go to school.
It's gonna beat up on your conscience.
Yeah,
a
like
bit. Yeah.
that shit is nuts. That's why them players that's ineligible, that's why I have no problem every time I see them. First thing I say is, shut your ineligible ass up. You can't talk right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get yourself situated. Get on the field, man. It's too easy. It's too easy.
What was some of your takes on last season?
Immaturity. We was a very immature team, and you know, speaking from a defensive standpoint, I'll get to the offense, but speaking from a defensive standpoint, we was just undermanned. Like, we was undermanned. We was small, you know what I'm saying? And teams took advantage of that. They did what they were supposed to do. But we grew every single game. I think in the moment, I questioned a lot of losses. Like, damn, are we that bad, or are the other team just that good?
Especially Shaw. I feel like Shaw we supposed to win now.
Yeah, it's a few games that we should have won. That's definitely one of them. But they was assisted by, you know.
Yeah, we
We'll
ain't
talk
gonna
about
yeah.
that in a minute. Yeah. But you know, man, honestly, man, I don't know if I ever had even told y'all this, but you know, the way that y'all just never quit meant a lot. You know what I'm saying, to the coaching staff, because it was some games like that we was like, damn, this shit just going bad down like Bowie. That shit went bad so fast, and I was like, what the fuck just happened right here? Like,
That was some traumatic stuff.
but it was like guys was still fighting, and after the season, when I went back and started looking at the film, what I noticed was how young we were at key spots. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this. On our defensive line, the only person that had experience was Malik, and he was really a sophomore on the field.
Yeah.
All right, linebackers, sophomores. DBs, for the most part, freshmen and sophomores. So a lot of the mistakes that we made on defense was young mistakes, just not knowing. Then you look at offense, you had 4 freshman offensive linemen and a sophomore. You had all freshmen, well, 2 freshman quarterbacks, and then Lad's really a sophomore on the field, a junior. Wide receivers, freshmen. You know what I'm saying? So learning a new system and then being young, not really being held accountable for your mistakes. Like, when you young, you do stuff like that. Like, you brush your mistake off on somebody else. You know, quarterback throw a pick, oh, it's the receiver fault. No, that was your fault. You know what I'm saying? Or just anything. We missing tackles. We calling blitzes, and backers coming through clean and just missed the sack. It's like, what just happened? You know what I'm saying? But as a coach, you say, okay, he ain't gonna miss that next year, because he know now I'm coming through 100 miles per hour, but I need to break down to about 85. You know what I'm saying? And then hit him and explode at 100 miles per hour. Like, I just ran past the motherfucker and I had a clean shot. You know, I think last year, man, y'all had a lot of glimpses, and that's what we looking forward to. And I feel like the guys that we brung in, the mature guys, the guys that's, you know, they may not necessarily have a bunch of college games under their belt, but they bigger. They bigger in spots where we was undersized at. I don't even know if I can say people's names right now, because that might be some whole other shit. But I just know that linebacker room gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah, y'all stack at linebacker.
crazy room. DBs is gonna be good, and we got some really good DBs coming in. We got some more athletic and physical offensive linemen coming in. Wide receivers, still, we just wide receivers probably the best group on offense that we got, and It definitely was last year. Y'all definitely underperformed, but we all know what that reason was. I speak no names because I talk nothing negative about nobody, but we definitely underachieved at that position. And then at quarterback, you know what I'm saying? I think y'all definitely y'all got to get a grasp of the offense because it's you definitely got guys that you don't have to do a lot. Just do enough to get them the ball. You know what I'm saying? And just sit back. Just maintain it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be a superstar at the quarterback. You just got to manage the team. Tell them dudes shut the fuck up in the huddle. Like it should be only one.
Facts, they gotta listen.
Yeah, I mean, y'all need me to come coach offense?
I mean, if you want to.
Nah.
Well, being the leader of the Black Death and
Definitely not the leader. Being the co-leader.
the co-leader of the Black Death and Trench Mafia, and one of the greatest of all time Twitter recruiters, what is something that you look for or that you specifically want to single out or find when you recruiting online for your defense? What is it that you look for in a prospect or that would make somebody stand out?
Violence. You know what I'm saying? On defense, man, especially in the box guys, the trench guys and the linebackers, I want what we call motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I want them dudes that hit their grandmother in the mouth if they had the opportunity and not feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we people got to understand that dog, this ain't no sucker shit right
It
here.
ain't pretty.
Like this Livingstone, dog. This the stone. When you say that, you gotta mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we changed our name about 15, 20 years ago. We used to be the Fighting Blueberries. That's when I was in school. We was the Fighting Blueberries. And anybody that might watch this, when you used to walk in the New Trent Gym, over right there where our men's locker room is, that blue paint right there, it was a mural of a bear with boxing gloves on and trunks. And all the other CIAA schools was in the ring with them, like on the ground. That was the true spirit of Livingstone College. It was the Fighting Blueberries, not just the Blueberries. Blueberries just sound like real cuddly and fun. You want to hang out with that bear, go to Starbucks and Cold Stone and hold hands and shit.
Sweeter Link.
Yeah, man. Nah, bro. Like, I come from the era where it was the Fighting Blueberries where you're either going to win the game or you're going to win the fight. You ain't losing both.
Right.
And that's the mentality that when we recruiting guys, and it ain't just on offense. I mean, just on defense. It's on offense, too. Like, when I'm looking at offensive linemen, dude, jack somebody to fuck up. Like, you, the club bouncer, and he just spit in your face. Handle your business. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to talk about. If a referee throw a flag, he throw a flag. They gonna throw flags on us anyway. But that's why it's important, for us to put up points. Because shit, they can't throw a flag and to keep the game close when they ass getting blown out. Right. You know what I'm saying? At that point, the referee's gonna be trying to get the game over with. And, we had that happen to us a few times this year, Shit, we had, we was losing the Union, and quarterback rolling out. Quarterback got hurt on some bullshit. Game was over. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But they were still going 1,000 miles per hour, and the referees was allowing that shit to go on. So, they doing their job. All right, cool. But when the rabbit get the gun, don't run. Yeah. Stand there like you been standing there when somebody else had the gun pointing it at the rabbit.
And them tables always turn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the tables turning this year.
Yeah. I'm not, man, I ain't the friendliest coach in the conference. I don't do a whole lot of talking to them coaches. You know, I respect everybody because I know this is a difficult profession.
Yeah.
But man, I ain't got time to be shaking your hand, going out having drinks with you and all that shit, man. I want to beat your fucking ass.
Oh God.
And that's, you know, once we get every player to buy into that same philosophy and system, I guarantee you 15 games we going to come out on top.
For sure. I remember them these two asking me this question a couple episodes ago, but you remember when you recruited me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still remember that. So
Yeah.
what made you want me, or what stuck out to y'all about my whole spiel? You know what I'm saying? What made y'all figure out y'all wanted me to come here?
Speed and chippiness.
Chippiness.
Yeah. You didn't back down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, a lot of people was like, man, he just so small. He just down the third, man, he might get hurt. Man, shit, everybody get hurt.
It's facts.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to catch that little motherfucker. That's how, you know, I felt about it. And when we would have our recruiting meetings and people would be like, man, we got to get this one, this one, this one. And I'd be like, shit, why Fields ain't up there?
Facts.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Nah, don't forget that one.
Yeah.
You
Hey.
know what I'm saying? Don't forget that one because, you know, it be the person that you don't expect to be good. That's always the person that ends up good.
Mm-hmm.
Just put the ball in his hand. Like, and I don't pay attention a lot on offense most of the time. Like when y'all be on the field, I'll be on the opposite end. I'll be watching y'all from like, if we going into the sun, y'all wouldn't be able to see me because I'm standing down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As y'all come down. And no bullshit, every time y'all scored a touchdown, I was fucking standing on the far end of the field and y'all would just pretty much go right past me and score. So I was like, damn, hey, am I jinxing them by standing behind them or do I need to stand down here?
Yeah.
I'm going to test that theory in the spring. I'm going to see if y'all score on us when I stand
Too
down
many times.
in front of y'all. I doubt that happened, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, nah. And then even when we was recruiting Manny, if you get back to how you was in high school, you're going to be a problem.
I tell them all the time.
I think you in your head too much. You know what I'm saying? Get out your head. That shit ain't there. Make a play. You know what I'm saying? If it's there, don't second guess it. You know, that's what happens on offense a lot of times. Y'all second guess it because, shit, I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? But stop second guessing. You know, I'd have had people tell me a whole lot of different stuff, and I'd be like, nah, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. I just believe our guys is in their own damn head.
Yeah.
And when they get out of their own head, they going to realize, like, damn, coach really do fuck with me and want me to be successful. You know, if a coach ain't talking to you, that's when it's the problem.
He don't care about you.
Yeah, that's when it's the problem.
The
That's
lost cause.
universal on everything, man. Like, that ain't even in sports. That's just in life. If you talking to a girl and then she just ghosts your ass,
It's over, man.
you done fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you in business and your boss stop caring that you showing up late, your ass about to get fired.
Facts.
Understand that? And you ain't about to get no unemployment because they going to find that shit in the handbook that say, hey, man, you got to do this, that, and the third, and that's it. You ain't been doing it, so I got to let you go. You know, it's my job. Like I think right now, I think we got 7 quarterbacks coming in, 6, whatever it is. So that means your margin for error is slim to none. Like you can't fuck up. You shouldn't want to, but you should also want that pressure because that's what's going to make the diamond. Yeah, that's what's going to make the diamond. You know what I'm saying? So some people will see that competition and run. That's why you got so many people in the portal. You got people hopping in the portal because of competition.
Speak on that portal now. Speak on the portal.
Portal is trash. It's trash. I don't like. Yeah, I ain't gonna say the portal is trash. The portal is good if it's used the right way by certain players, right?
So I came in to lose something from the portal.
Yeah, your situation different. If you're a major contributor at an institution and you're a part of the culture change, you do not leave that program to make a lateral move. That's going backwards, right? All right, so like we've had it both ways with J Rob. 6'4", 205-pound corner.
He just different, bro.
You knew from day one when I recruited Jordan, I never understood why he didn't have the opportunities that he should have had. That shit was mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, how is this dude available? But when he called and he committed, I told him, do what you're supposed to do. They're going to come get you. And that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Every coach that called me for that boy, like P5 coaches, Pac-10 or Pac-12, SEC, Big 12, Big 10, when they called and asked, they was like, yo, how did you get him? Where did you find him? I was like, man, I'll look where y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And I'm glad he picked the destination where he picked to go to. And I pray nothing but the best for him. And I think this year will be a good year for him. Love him to death. I still talk to his family. I still talk to him. I'm quite sure, y'all, Trey probably talk to him every once in a while.
Yeah.
But that's my dude, man.
He just different. And I think a lot of people, speaking on the portal, like, they could confuse and think that they that commodity, it's a 6'4", 4'3" corner who can cover and fluid hips and all that.
And can tackle.
Yeah. And that's just something from day one. We talk about it. He was coming in here and he says that he was playing off raw talent. He hadn't been to none of those big DB trainers yet. He hadn't really gotten really into that lifestyle of really living like a DB yet. He was just playing football. Yeah. But a lot of people who get in that portal think, they just got it naturally like everybody, and they don't.
Like we had our departures. Some of them I still scratch my head.
Yeah, of course.
I don't understand it. What I don't like is like if you want to test the waters, like I'm gonna just say this from and this is coming from a Division I coach, not even Power 5, just a Division I coach. If you at a Division II school and you're not the guy, like the dog, All-American, All-Conference,
the one,
just flat out the best, and you get in the portal, you may die in the portal. You know what I'm saying? If you're the guy, they're going to come get you. You know what I'm saying? Like we almost lost 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we did what we needed to do as coaches, being responsible, you know what I'm saying, and holding ourselves accountable to our players. You know what I'm saying? So now he did everything we asked him to do. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta, if a guy wants to stay, do whatever you can to make him stay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you got guys that's, misled or misdirected, misguided, or they got it in their head that the grass is greener, hey man, enjoy yourself over there. And don't expect flowers and candy and shit when we see you. Because that's what it ain't going to be.
Right.
And, some kids you just like don't understand at all.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But, if they made it to where you had to speak to your coaches before you get into the portal, I don't think a lot of guys would get in because a lot of guys, they intimidated by that.
Yeah.
They don't want to face the truth or the reality because every guy that got into the portal, we helped get to somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? If we got a phone call about somebody, you know, and I'm going to look into the camera and address this. We don't speak negative about no player,
Right.
period. If a coach from another institution calls about your son, they're going to get an A+ recommendation. That's just it. We don't have time. We recruited him to come to Livingstone, so why would we hate on him going somewhere else? That don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, to see some of the things that I saw from some of the parents, former players, to see like some of the comments that they posted, because people send us everything. It's like, yo, man, y'all are so disrespectful. But that's a loser's mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that Coach G always talk about, man. Dudes be having loser mentalities, and they don't realize it, because you know when you've been losing for so long, bro, you don't know how to do nothing now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit, when it hurt, like shit, KO played all year, not even knowing if he would be eligible. You know what I'm saying? Like he showed up to every practice, went hard, and then we got some guys who knew they was ineligible, but still should be out there practicing and playing. Or guys that should be practicing every day and ain't been showing up. I'm not calling you. I'm not texting you. I'm replacing you.
Fact.
That's just what it is. And, you know, until we get more KOs and more trades and more Mannies, you know what I'm saying? Some of them guys, you know, they gonna be on the team. They're gonna be hanging around, but they on the tail end of their life expectancy. And they know who they are. And that shit kick them in the ass, and they say, damn, Coach Martin talking about me. Yes, I am.
Speaking about the guidance that you talk about people not having, or the truth they don't want to face before going into that portal, part of the big reason that I felt comfortable staying, or felt comfortable coming, because like you said, the coaches, y'all tell us that y'all love us, y'all tell us y'all there for us, and make sure that we got everything we need to get to where we going. But I wanted to ask you, like, what makes you or what do you kind of look for when you see a player that you want to help, or that's asking you for advice? You know, what do you send their direction, or kind of send them as guidance to help them get through what they going through?
Trey, that was a long ass question.
Yeah, I know. I was
Trey
trying
just
to.
be talking, man.
I was trying to. No.
Like,
I was
be
trying to
saying,
spit it
like,
out.
I don't even know what he was saying though.
I'm
honestly.
saying, what do you when you directing a player? You know what I'm saying? Or a player come to you for advice,
For advice.
or to look to you. You know,
What advice are they trying to get?
it could be anything. I'm
They
saying
want to get in the portal,
no, not just about the portal. I'm saying
just in life general.
yeah, because as far as like the people getting into the portal, or the people that we lost to the portal, you said if everybody had talked to, or if it was mandatory they had to talk to a coach, you don't think everybody would have done it. But I'm saying basically, how do you implement that guidance? Because I already know how you do it, but just tell it to the people how you implement that guidance. Say beforehand when somebody gets into the portal, or during the season, or while you coaching them. You know, what are some of the things that you give them, or how do you reach out to them and let them know?
Give him the real.
Yeah,
Yeah, like come have a conversation.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like one person is in the portal, and I asked him like, "Yo, why?
Straight up.
Like, what was the purpose of that? Ah, man, y'all ain't using me right." And I'm like, dude, you play every game. Like you're growing into a role. Let the growth happen. Develop into the dog that we know you're gonna be, because no matter how good you are, you ain't working hard enough, because you feel like where you at. Like a lot of guys feel like because they at Livingstone, like this ain't last chance you. Regardless of what other coaches in this conference say, this is not last chance you. This is first chance. Like this is your first chance to come and be who you said you You was. So if I'm recruiting you and you think you Division One, but me and you on the phone every day, ain't no D1s calling you. Hey, bro, come here and be that guy,
Facts.
and you be D1. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of cats, they being lied to by their parents, they homeboys in the streets,
Misguided.
other people on campus. Like, I really wish that we could put y'all in the dorm away from everybody. That y'all wouldn't have to talk to nobody else. That it would be no outside influences from regular students. Because if we could, I think the reality of a lot of guys would set in and say, damn, I really need a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Because when you got homeboys, just think about this. We got some ineligible players right now. When you look at the makeup of our team, the players that's ineligible hang out with players that's not on the team.
Yeah.
So that influence,
They're dragging them down.
you know what I'm saying? And then now we on their ass hard and they don't know how to take it because they partners been telling them, man, you ain't got to go to practice. You ain't playing anyway.
Yeah.
And they done bought into that shit, so they ain't going to practice. They ain't coming here. They ain't coming there. And then when they see you, they like, oh, shit, man, KO over there. I ain't going over there because he going to ask me why I ain't been coming to meetings. Nah, KO ain't going to say shit to you. But KO going to be at the meeting.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? This man broke his leg, got up, walked off, healed up, called us about a medical waiver, and, we was told, oh, nah, he da-da-da-da-da-da. Nah, we looked, found some rules. Oh, nah, he qualified for that joint. Get it for him.
Yeah.
Now, say KO didn't come to no practices. This how God, the universe, whatever you believe in, this how that worked. Say he didn't come to no practices, no workouts, no meetings, no nothing all year. Finally got eligible, right? Same injury happened.
You ain't fighting for him.
We ain't fighting for him.
Yeah.
For what? Because he ain't going to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when you giving us everything you got, we're going to give you everything we got to make sure you're successful.
Right. And the reason I asked that long-winded question was because I remember, when, like you said, seeing the people that come to this campus, or you know what I'm saying, and they kind of become a victim to all the vices or all the negative things around them.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember my recruitment and what y'all told me that day, because it wasn't that long. It was only probably
2 years.
a couple months. Like I just remember
Mm-hmm.
what y'all told me and what y'all sold it to me as, and I didn't really see myself as coming in here as any type of big dog with any type of leg up on anybody, or that I was gonna be getting some type of special treatment, or that everything was gonna be promised. But with some of the guys that get in the portal, and some of the guys that we done lost along the way, it just seemed like they thought things was gonna be easier, or like it was gonna be more promised than what it was. So I was asking that to see, like, I know along the way you ain't been lying to people. You ain't
Right.
been telling them it was gonna be glory, you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
you was just gonna touch down and drop into heaven. It was
Yeah.
gonna be some work involved. So that's the reason I wanted to really see, like, what you would tell
Yeah, man. Like Manny said, man, I'm telling
the real.
them the truth.
Yeah.
Like, there's some in there right now that, hey, man, get your ass up out of there because where you going? Walmart? You're going to be at Amazon. You're going to be at Walmart. You're going to be on a dairy farm somewhere,
Mickey D.
because some of our guys, they ain't really in school to be in school. They in school for football. And a lot of these, like, we understand when we recruiting a guy that if you take football away from somebody that's been playing football since they was 5 years old, the psychological effect that has on that person is major. You know what I'm saying? So you telling me you done worked your tail off all your life to get here, and now because you're not playing 60 plays a game, but you playing 30, you're going to get into the portal with little to no film and think somebody is about to give you an opportunity to come start for them. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. If your highlight film is 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're not getting no looks. You're not. If you got to hit, if when you get in the portal, ain't no coaches calling you, get your ass out the portal. Because ain't nobody looking for you. You looking for yourself. Or you running from something that you just don't want to be a competitor no more. You running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got to make a 10-part highlight, you doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Them people gonna see through that. You know, them people gonna see through that. And they gonna make phone calls. And these coaches ain't dumb. Because we do the same thing. When we looking at kids in the portal, the guys that got out of the portal, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
Because they shouldn't have been in the portal in the first place. They was being misguided.
False prophets.
You know what I'm saying? Them two motherfuckers gonna be special.
Yeah. And that's the thing too.
You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna be special. And in some situations, the guys that got in the portal saw their special ability, and that's who they running from. And it just makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense. Like, dog, we know right now we got two of the best running backs in the CIAA coming back. Andre Harris just started scratching the surface of his ability last year. He didn't even know he was that good. I'll be on Andre ass every summer. I'll be telling him, hey, man, stop chasing them girls. Go work out. All last summer, that's all Dre did was work. And when he came in, you could see the difference.
It showed.
You know what I'm saying? You could see the difference. You know, KO get healthy, he gonna be a maniac. You know what I'm saying? We got other guys that's there, but I know them two, I'll put my money on in the dark alley. Somebody gonna either run your ass over or run from you. Like, the running game gonna be a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? Our offensive line, for as young as they was last year, they got better every game. You know what I'm saying? And now, like when I had that conversation with you and told you got to be responsible for things, like if you getting sacked, it's not the offensive line fault. They only going to give your ass 2.5 seconds. That's even at the highest of the high levels. You got 2.5 seconds. If you go back and watch all of your film, just go back and watch the film period and see how many throws was missed from all of y'all, not just you. See how many throws each quarterback missed. And you'll be like, damn, you're going to feel some type of way about your ability. Watch how many times wide receivers ran the wrong route. You got to get on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is not acceptable. Dog, you getting me hit. I don't want to get hit. Hell, wide receivers don't want to get hit. But quarterbacks damn sure don't want to get touched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that means you got to get the ball out your hand faster. You got to recognize the weakness in the defense and tear that shit up. Attack that shit until they fix it. If they don't fix it, if we running shit to the left or to the, say we going down the left sideline all damn game and they don't never switch it, man, your ass better not throw a pass to the right. For what? Ain't even no need to try it because they can't stop what's over here. When you start doing shit, man, I'm going to say something like this. The last few years, I ain't said nothing to the offense when they come off and they do something dumb. I just be like, man, fuck. All right, force a turnover. You know what I'm saying? We got to score. That's what our conversations turned into. We got to score. You know what I'm saying? On defense. We can't have that no more. That ain't our responsibility. It's our
Ain't gonna
responsibility.
be that no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust.
You know what I'm saying? Is y'all responsibility, man, give us 21 points. We'll take care of the rest.
Facts. Speaking, you spoke on, the guys. You said that went in the portal, and you said we happy they make it out, and we know who gonna be special, and we want to see them reach that. But this week I was talking to some of my teammates, and it somehow came about. The people that had left, and like you said, we want to see them do great, but when we see you, it ain't gonna be sunshine and rainbows, and it ain't gonna be no candy party. You know,
yeah.
and that don't mean we don't. That don't mean we ain't got love for you, but
Yeah.
it's a business, and we here to collect. So, talk a little bit about that dynamic, because I think it's some people, not just of my teammates, but in this NCAA as a whole, who can't understand that competitiveness of it. Ain't that I ain't got love for you, but
Right.
I wanna win. I wanna eat your face. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get where I gotta get.
Bro, I understand that if we recruited you, if you play for us, we know your every weakness. What's the possibility of you strengthening over the next 7-8 months? Slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you truly wanted to be the beast, you wouldn't have left. Because you already know that the coaches you with right now know all your weaknesses. So, coach, make me better at this. Make me better at that. All right, cool. That's what we're going to work on. But now you going somewhere. First of all, you may not be in that first group no more. You might not be in the top 2 groups. Now you're a bottom feeder.
Mm-hmm.
So as a bottom feeder, coaches ain't about to show you no whole bunch of love. They're going to go with the guys that they already know. You already coming from quote-unquote last chance you. So you coming in there with 3 strikes. They just waiting for your ass to swing the bat. That's it. So that means you got to be better than they best man every single day. You just made life hard for yourself. If you was built for that, you wouldn't have left. You know what I'm saying? Because unless you was just comfortable here and you felt the pressure, so you'd have just put more pressure on yourself going somewhere else. But then now you're going against calculated coaches. This shit is not going to be easy none of the weeks, whatever week it is that they play against us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to know.
We know them.
And yeah, like, really?
Yeah,
I
want to get back to a few things you touched on earlier. You was talking about how your wife played a big role in starting your trucking business, and also how she played a big role in letting you come back down here to North Carolina to coach at Livingstone. I just want to know how she been beneficial to you, cause like what you told me is like that's a real queen right there. That's a true go getter, who a true supporter. Like I just want to know, like, touch on that a little bit.
She really
touch on your
for you.
wife.
She a maniac. She gonna watch it. She already told me, do they stream it live? We gonna have to post it. So she gonna be like, damn, he brought my name up a lot. But my wife kind of sit back, man. She hilarious because, we have our differences. But she been there. I understand the stress of me being up here. I understand that stress that's on her. And that's another reason why I go so hard. Like I said, this year was tough. Like that shit was losing my grandmother and not having that person that I call before every game, just to hear her say good luck, no matter what, I love you. That was cool. So my wife kind of took that place. So I would call her. And it's funny because the 4 games we won, I didn't call her before the game. So I told her I'm not calling you before no games next year. Because I'm superstitious like that.
Yeah.
But she understands, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, I do little stuff throughout the course of the season to thank her, for allowing me to come up here and understand that no relationship, no marriage, nothing is perfect.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, this shit is some demanding shit. this coaching. I never thought 4 years ago when I started doing this that it would be this demanding. But when you chasing greatness and you right there, you know what I'm saying? You can see it, you can almost touch it. It's extremely important to have somebody that supports you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, we still have our dragouts here and there. You know, about my availability to be at the crib, but you know, she deserve everything she gonna get when she get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't tell her no to too much of nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because how can I?
That's big.
She allowing me to pursue my ultimate dream, coaching at my alma mater. You know, not a lot of people get that opportunity to do that, and she sees the growth. You know, in the team. She don't like a lot of our fans, so you know, she'll stop coming to the games halfway through the season because she just like, man, fuck them people.
They don't see it. They don't know what go into
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't know.
man.
They don't know how deep it gets.
And like, dude, your dad, bro, man, shout out to Coach Fields, man.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What?
Like
was-
your dad, dog. I think after the Shaw game, you know, I was some type of way, you know what I'm saying, about that game when it was over with, because like you said,
We were supposed to win it.
we were supposed to win that joint, and he was like, Coach, just calm down. He said, I see it all over your face. I hadn't even said nothing.
Yeah.
He said, Coach, I see it all over your face. He said, it's changing, bro. It's changing. Just keep fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just keep fighting. And that's just, you know what I'm saying, the spirit. Man, I want to shout out the parents like that, man. Your mom, your pops. I don't know who the hell be hit me up from KO camp. But he like, I call him the agent.
Oh, Pat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pat. Yeah.
Yeah. But we got some, man, Echo's mom, Siobhan. Man, we got some great parents.
Yeah.
T-Mac mom and dad.
It's a good family.
Yeah, man, his whole fam is psycho, and you know they know football when they see football, and they see the growth. You know, so it's like, you know, we being patient, but at the same time, man, Big G be wanting y'all to win 15 games every day,
Yeah.
and it's like, Coach, we ain't there yet. We still, you know, we getting it.
I think that's what keep us going as far as
Yeah.
him, like, cause he ain't never gonna be scared to demand the best from you.
Right, right,
And in no circumstance.
right.
And you know that's I feel like that drives us well.
Yeah.
I got one more question, and we gotta wrap this up.
All right,
What are some of the teams you're looking forward to play next year?
everybody,
Easily.
everybody.
All the smoke.
You gotta welcome it.
I think, well, we opened up with Bluefield State. Allen ran from that smoke. Allen University, we owe y'all.
We
We
do.
ain't forgot. We opened up with Allen. Then we go to Catawba. I'm looking forward to that one. They got a new coaching staff. Should be a good game. Then Virginia Union come to us. That's a get back game. There's been a lot of chatter, you know, from their leadership. All right, you know. And then I believe after Union we go to V State. Then we come back to Bowie, or no, Virginia Union come to us. Yeah, then we go to V State, and then Bowie comes to us, and then Fayetteville should be interesting up there. I think that's their homecoming. So, you know,
Very.
we got, you know, some guys up there that are very familiar with us, and we familiar with them. And then Shaw for our homecoming. Or no, Fayetteville, Winston, Shaw, St. Aug, and then the school in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Um,
School in Charlotte.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Was it JCS?
No, it's just a school in Charlotte. Yeah, it's a school in Charlotte. And I said, as long as I'm at Livingstone coaching, we are not losing to the school in Charlotte. So
Bluefield State, they new though, ain't it?
yeah, they just came in the conference. They just got voted in. Young team. They was kind of something similar to us last year. A bunch of freshmen and sophomores, a few upperclassmen. They too had a few guys hop into the portal. So that'll be opening. And I think most of our games is at 6 o'clock. I know our home games is at.
I've been
9.
waiting to do the nightcap on that field.
Yeah, man.
So Bluefield is away or at home?
No, we at home. We open up at home. So really, our first 3 games is at home. So we got Bluefield at home, Catawba on the road, but they ship 4 miles
Up
away.
the road,
Yeah, 4 miles away, and then Virginia Union comes to us. So, it should be interesting, man. I think if we get off to a quick start, and everybody buy in, man. And I think y'all been doing a good job, at kind of corralling and kicking out the bullshit. I think we're going to be good, and alums and fans alike should be excited on what it is that they see.
Facts. Before Cole ended though, I just wanted to take the time to say this to you and give you your flowers because you the only college coach that ever called me, and you the only one that ever, you and Gil, y'all the only ones that ever really took a chance on me and told me y'all wanted me, and that's from little league to middle school to high school. Y'all the only ones that wanted me, so I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you and I love you.
Most definitely.
And
you getting emotional?
Nah, I ain't getting
Dre
emotional.
getting emotional. He sound like he about to cry.
I ain't getting
He
emotional.
about to cry.
But,
Yeah.
Nah, y'all really changed my life, and y'all brought, a dream of mine that I had for a while true, and y'all inspired me to keep chasing them. So I just want to give y'all both y'all flowers.
I appreciate that.
While you here. So yeah.
Appreciate that. Man, he throw this man a damn ball, he be wide open.
All right, thank you for coming on, and honestly, thank you for recruiting me. You already know how it was.
Definitely,
That was definitely a fun time.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you. Appreciate it.